adding would be to subtract. So if we were to start with 333, and for every time we added, we could subtract. 33 minus 20 is 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. 5 minus 5, all the way back. So how do we know my answer is reasonable? I know my answer is reasonable because if I count back, I will end with 245. Okay. So that's today's focus. Using a diagram, this right here, to solve with our time intervals. So I'm going to show you a few examples on the share and show, and then I want you to work through the other share and show problems, and I will show you the answers in tomorrow's video. So I'll do the odd ones, and then I want you to do the even numbers. Alright, so Patty went shopping at 11:30. She shopped for 25 minutes, then she spent 40 minutes eating lunch, then she met a friend for a movie. What time did she meet her friend? First begin. What time did she start? 11:30. Then she shopped for 20 minutes, so we're going to count forward 25 minutes. Then she met a friend. No, she spent 40 minutes eating lunch, so then we'd add 40 minutes. And then that would be the time that she met her friend. So if we add 25, that would be 30 plus 25 is 55. And then, well, if I'm close to the next hour, maybe I could take 40 and split it up. So that could be 5 minutes, because if I add 5, I'm going to get to the next hour, which is 12, and then 40 could be split up into 5 and 35. So then I could add 35 minutes and get 12:35. So my answer would be 12:35. Now if it's in the afternoon, p.m. Okay. So I want you to do number 2. We'll work on number 3. When Caleb got home from school, he worked on a science project for 20 minutes. Then he studied a test for 30 minutes. He finished at 4:35 p.m. At what time did Caleb get home from school? So he finished. That's our end time, 4:35. So 4:35. So we're going to count back for this one. So he worked on a science project for 20 minutes. So if I go back 20, 35 minus 20, 15. So it's 4:15. And then he studied a test for 30 minutes. Now if I go back 30 minutes, I'm going to be into the new hour that's before. I'm going to be in the hour before 4, which is 3. But I could split 30 minutes into 15 and 15, so that when I subtract, it's a bit easier. So I'm at 4 o'clock, because that's one of the 15s. Then I have to take 15 more. So 60 minus 15, because that's the new hour. is 45. So now we're 3:45. We need to include the same ending, 45 p.m. Alrighty. Got a few more on the back. So remember, I want you to do the even ones. Olivia modeled her number with 300 blocks and 9 10 blocks. Todd modeled his number with 200, 6 10s, and 5 1 blocks. Who has the greater number? How much greater? So if we have 300s and 9 10s, there's no ones block, so 390. And then we have 200s, 6 10s, and 5 1s. So who has a greater? So 390, which is Olivia. How much greater? How much tends to mean subtract. So 390 to 65. Need to regroup. Minus 6 is 2. So the answer is 125. Alrighty. Got 2 more. Number 7. Jamal set 60 minutes using the computer to play games and do research for his report. He spent a half hour of the time playing games and the rest of the time researching his report. How many minutes did Jamal spend researching his report? So, if he spent 60 minutes, I know that 60 minutes is the same as 1 hour. So he was on an hour with the computer. He spent half of the hour playing games and the rest of the time researching. So, I'm going to make a model. So if this is a whole 60 minutes and he spent half of the time playing games and the other half researching, how many minutes did he spend? So if he spent 1/2 of 60 minutes or 1/2 of an hour. So I know that I can split 60 into 2 equal groups. I could add 30 and 30. So that means he would have spent half of an hour, which is a total of 30 minutes. Okay. Number 9, when Laura arrived at the library, she spent 40 minutes reading a book, then she spent 15 minutes reading a magazine. She left the library at 4:15 p.m. At what time did Laura arrive at the library? So, if she left at 4:15, we need to figure out what time she arrived, so that's going to be before. So, she spent 15 minutes reading a magazine, minus 15, 4 o'clock. She spent 40 minutes reading a book. Now I'm going to go into the hour before 4 o'clock, which is 3 o'clock. So, 60 minus 40 is 20. So, she would have arrived at the library at 3:20 p.m. So, letter A. So, your job is to work through the even number questions in your practice and then to work through your homework for lesson 10.5.